Let's make history. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 things you didn't know were invented in Britain. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we've picked out some of Blighty's best inventions and ranked the ones which we think are often overlooked. Number 10, chocolate bar.
Well then, I've been eating a lot of Toblerone. I've eaten 4 and I've got 2 white ones left. Because I don't like them as much as the dark ones.
Before Mars bars, Dairy Milk, Twix, Twirl or Toffee Crisp came Fry's chocolate cream, predated only by bittersweet treats, including an innovative 1847 effort by Joseph Fry himself. Chocolate cream was the first bar to be widely distributed, hitting shelves in 1866.
Make the moment last with Fry's chocolate cream.
Dairy-free with a fondant centre, the idea quickly caught on with a certain John Cadbury starting mass production soon afterwards. Then came Henry Nestle, Rudolph Lindt and Milton S. Hershey.
Chocolate! Chocolate! Chocolate!
Number 9, postage stamp.
So can you set fire to a postage stamp?
No. In fact, a postage stamp is legal tender. A bus driver would have to accept that.
Here's one to write home about. The heady history of the postage stamp boasts a series of major players, with most of the significant changes happening in London.
Ah yes, there it is, the penny black.
Sir Rowland Hill is widely credited with creating the self-adhesive item we take for granted today, as well as a regulated cost system, introducing the first stamps, the penny black and the 2p blue in 1840. Both bear an image of Queen Victoria and both are worth a pretty penny today.
So everybody who wants to send a letter will have to lick my face.
Number 8, Viagra.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? You just took a Viagra to have sex with me.
Well, I thought it would make it better.
Sex is something of a specialist subject in British history. First, the vibrator was conceived by an 1880s physician who sought a cure for female hysteria, and then male impotence was solved largely by accident. The effects of sildenafil, or Viagra, were discovered in 1991, when a group of Kent-based Pfizer employees were researching a proposed new treatment for angina. But rather than righting the heart, the product precipitated other noticeable changes. The findings were quickly turned into a pill, sparing bedroom blushes worldwide.
You can't.
I took Viagra.
Number 7, table tennis. In truth, the UK is responsible for, or it had a major hand in, the development of countless sports. Badminton, that was us. Cricket, obviously. Rugby, football, snooker and bowls, all at least partly British. Squash was invented at Harrow, netball at Hampstead College, and modern golf is Scottish. But we've singled out table tennis.
For the first time, a father and son are playing each other in the World Table Tennis Final, and neither of them are Chinese.
An Olympic sport since 1988, it began in Victorian England as a popular parlour game. Using improvised nets and paddles, players played over a dining table, often serving golf balls to their opponent.
Somebody said world peace was in our hands, but all I did was play ping pong.
Number 6, flushing toilet. While there is evidence that early civilizations used water to sanitize toilets, it wasn't until Tudor England that a recognizable flush system emerged.
Oh God, I beg you, please. If you make this water go down, I will sit at your feet and I will serve you for all of eternity.
Sir John Harrington led the way, installing a basic model for Elizabeth I at Richmond Palace. But it was almost 200 years before this throne became a household convenience.
How about a courtesy flush over there?
South Yorkshire's Thomas Crapper perfected the U-bend in 1880. At the Great Exhibition in 1851, purpose-built WCs were all the rage. Number 5, guillotine. Though best known for cutting through French history, this deadly device was actually a British idea. Beheading was a popular way of executing criminals in the Middle Ages, but all that wielding of swords soon got tiresome. While the guillotine was named after a French doctor, early versions are recorded as far back as the 1200s in northern England and Scotland. The Halifax gibbet featured a crude axe head on a wooden board, while legend says the Scottish maiden was used to behead an earl who helped install it. Number 4, jet engine. Historically, war forces ideas.
I feel the need for speed.
First, the military tank was devised by the Brits for World War I, supposedly inspired by a H.G. Wells story. Then came pioneering advances in the skies. The first patent for the jet engine was filed by Sir Frank Whittle in 1930, but but Whittle's revolutionary ideas weren't realised until midway through the Second World War, by which time a German designer had already adapted his plans. Furthermore, Whittle's ideas were also shared with America, meaning Britain missed its head start for their commercial applications too.
To gain control, you gotta lose control, right? I can't hear you!
Number 3. IVF. Introduced in the 70s, in vitro fertilization flipped some of our most fundamental ideas about human biology.
How many times have you tried now? 3?
9. The last 2 were in vitro.
Developed for the most part by Patrick Steptoe and Robert G. Edwards, it proved that a successful pregnancy could be initiated outside of the human body. Louise Brown was the world's first so-called test tube baby, conceived in a petri dish and born in Oldham.
Well, given your situation, the options with the greatest chances for success would be surrogacy or insemination using a sperm donor.
The birth raised ongoing ethical questions, but the procedure has become an increasingly available option, with more than 250,000 IVF babies already born in the UK.
What does that mean?
It means that my guys won't get off their barca-loungers and you have a uterus that is prepared to kill the ones that do.
Number 2. Digital audio player. Otherwise known as portable media player and MP3 player, or most famously, an iPod. You'd be forgiven for thinking that these devices came straight out of Silicon Valley, but no. The gadgets were first thought up by Kane Kramer, a London-based serial inventor who designed the IXI in 1979.
She's making playlists. She likes to listen to MP3s when she hunts.
Similar in size to a cigarette packet, with a small screen and 4 navigation buttons, the blueprints are uncanny. But Kramer's patent expired a decade later, leaving others free to act on his ideas, and that they did. Number 1. Motion pictures. We finish with Britain's mass of media breakthroughs. Thomas Wedgwood, son of the pottery pioneer, experimented with early attempts at photography, while the Scotsman, John Logie Baird, was the first to demonstrate TV. But Edward Muybridge takes top spot, thanks to his modestly named 1870s study, A Horse in Motion. Aimed to determine how a horse gallops, it featured a series of silhouettes viewed through another of Edward's inventions, a zoopraxiscope. That was an early film projector, and the study was a precursor for motion pictures and the movie industry.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.